Hi guys, Litu here. I've been getting a few requests for a tutorial on how you can customize your webcomic site using the To Check It theme. So I'm going to cover that today, and when you're done with this tutorial, you should be fairly comfortable making any changes you may want to make to the look and feel of your website without having to write any code. First, let's take a look at what the website looks after a fresh installation of To Check It. So it basically has the navigation bar at the top, and this is where we're going to add in our menu items. And then it has a hero section, which shows the site title as well as the tagline. And you can replace this with an image, an eye-catching image that showcases your webcomic. Then we have the sidebar on the right, and this just basically has the widgets, the WordPress widgets. You can add any WordPress widgets you may want to feature in the sidebar. Then there's the main content area on your left. This would show the latest comics and then collections if you have any collections, chapters, and then your blog posts would show up also in this section. And then of course there's the footer right at the bottom of the page. Okay, and let's take a quick look at the comics page. And for the webtoon layout, the comics page basically has, and we're going to go cover the various layouts that are available for the To Check It theme. So at the top, you basically have a navigation bar. Then the main content area has the comic with a slider, comic navigation, and then a navigation bar at the bottom. Okay, so let's go back home here. And then let's start customizing. So let's go to the WordPress dashboard. And the first thing we're going to do is populate our menu in the navigation bar. So to do that, I'm just going to keep it quite simple. So I'm just going to add two menu items, a home page link and an about us page link. Now, we already have the home page here. But I do not have an about us page. So let's add that right quick. So to do that, just hover over pages, then click on add new. Then I'm just going to enter the title here, about us. Then I'm going to enter some dummy content here. Then I'm just going to do a quick copy and paste. And then just click publish. Okay, now we have an about us page. So now we're ready to start populating our menu items. So to do that, hover over appearance and then click menus. Okay, you notice it added a couple of the menu items already by default. Let's remove those so we can just get to see how to add those in. Okay, so we're going to create a menu collection. So let's give it a name. My webcomic menu. And then click the create menu button. Okay, and then what you have to make sure is the display section field here, make sure it is checked. If it's not checked, just click on the check mark there and then click the save menu button. Okay, now we're going to add the two links that we wanted to add to the menu bar. So for the home link, we're going to use the custom link section. So just expand the custom link section. And then enter the URL for your home page. So in my case, it's going to be https to home. And then for the link text, I'm just going to enter home. Then click the add to menu button. Okay. Now let's add the About Us link. So to do that, let's close the custom link section and then expand the pages section. You see the About Us pages listed there. Just click on that, then add to menu, and then click the Save Menu button. And it's just that simple. It shows my webcomic menu has been updated. If you go to the front end of the website just to see if the changes have taken effect, click refresh, and there are many items. Okay. If you click About Us, the About Us page shows up. Go back home, we're on the home page. Okay. Okay, let's continue with the dashboard. So now we can start using what's called the customizer. So to use the customizer, the WordPress customizer, under Appearance, click on Customize. And the way the customizer is set up, it's split up into two sections. To the left here is where you make all your changes, okay? And then to your right is a preview window. So any changes you make here on the left, you'll be able to see them in real time right away, showing up. But you have to always make sure you click on the Publish button here whenever you make a change. Otherwise, your changes will not be saved and none of the changes you make will show up on the front end of the website. Okay? So let's start with the site identity. Now for the site identity, you have a couple of items there. Let's start with the logo. Now for the logo, it's going to show up in the navigation bar here. It shows up in the navigation bar for the to check your theme. You just have to make sure it is 45 pixels high. It can be any width, just make sure it's 45 pixels high. So I already created a logo. So just click on the Select Logo button. And then I'm going to click on Upload Files to upload the logo to a media library. Then select Files. Then locate logo. It's here. Here's the logo. It's been uploaded. Okay. And then click Select. You can either crop the image or skip cropping. I'm going to skip cropping because it's the right size. So skip cropping. And you notice it shows up in the preview window here. Click Publish. Always remember to do that. Click the Publish button. If you go over to the front end of the website and do a refresh, the logo shows up here. Okay. Next up, let's change the site title and the tagline. This is what shows up here in the hero section. So if I start changing that, let's change it to my webcomic site. You'll notice it changes in real time in the preview window. Let's change the tagline to "This is a tutorial for the customizer." Then click Publish. Front end, see if the changes have taken effect, do a refresh, and there it is. Okay. All right. Let's say you want to add an header image here, and you don't want this text displayed. Now I'm going to show you how to add a hero image to this section here. But for now, let's say you just want to hide the text. All you have to do is click on this checkbox here. All right, see it's disappeared, and then click Publish. And I'm going to show you how you can add the hero image to this hero section in just a bit. So let's go over to the front end of the website and do a refresh, and it's no longer there. Okay. All right. So the last thing we're going to do in the site identity section is change the site icon. Now the site icon is what normally appears here in the browser tabs here at the top of the browser tabs in your browser window. And You may also see it when bookmarking the website. So you will see it show up in the bookmark list. So let's add that right quick. So you see the notification here, it needs to be 512 by 512 pixels. I'd already created one, so let's go ahead and upload that. So select site icon, upload files, select files, then site icon. Notice it's 512 by 512, then select. Okay. Notice it's already showing up here in the customizer window. Click publish. And if I go to the front end of the website and do a refresh, the site icon shows up there. Okay. So now we're done with the site identity section, customizing the site identity section. Okay. So next up, we're going to do the header image that I mentioned. So for the hero section. So let's change that right now. So it has to be 1920 by 320 pixels. So all we need to do, I'd already created one. So just click add new image, upload files, select files. Okay, uploading, and then select and crop. No need to crop since it's the size that is required, so skip cropping. And then click publish. Okay. If I do a refresh, it shows up there. Now, if you want, you can also show the site title and the tagline with the image, the hero image. So let's just see how you can do that. So let's go back to the site identity. Then just check display site title and tagline, and then publish. Go to the front end of the website, do a refresh, and it shows up there. Okay. All right. Let's change the background image. So background image, select the image, upload files, select files, background image folder, and I've already created one here. So just select the image here, and then choose image. And then you can customize it as you see fit here. I'm just going to leave the default settings there. Click publish. And when I go over to the front end of the website and then do a refresh, you notice the background image shows up there. Okay. All right, so now we're going to be doing some color customization. So let me remove the header, the hero image here and the background image. So let's remove the background image and do publish. And let's go to the header image and then hide image and then click publish. Let's switch over to the front end of the website. Let's make sure all the changes have been saved, and there you are. Okay, so let's switch over back to the customizer. And the next thing I'm going to show you is a few of the color options that you have available for changing both the text color and as well as the background of some of the sections of the web page. Okay, so for customizing the colors and to check it, you have two options. You can either use color schemes. All right, there are a few color schemes here, and this gives you a range of colors for every single component on your web page. Okay, so you don't have to go through component by component, changing the colors for each of your components. So it's a quick way of just giving a new look to your website. Okay. And the second option is going through each and every component one by one. So they're all listed here. So just feel free to play around with them. But I'm just going to show you a few examples. Okay. So for the color scheme, let's try the first option, the color scheme. So the default is this, the green section here with some green text, with some green text here. Let's change that a little bit. So dark. Okay. Click publish. You see it has already changed in the preview section here. Front end of the website. Let's see if the changes are taking effect. There it is. Okay. Let's try, say, yellow. Okay. Publish. Go to the front end of the website, do a refresh, and there is the yellow. Okay. Let's try red. Publish. Go to the front end of the website, do a refresh, and there it is. Okay. All right, let's switch it back to the default so we can just see how to change the individual components. I'm going to do publish. And I'm just going to change a couple of the items. Let's change the background color to, say, let's change it to blue. Okay. Let's change the hero section here and the sidebar section background color here to, say, let's change it to red. Okay. And then let's change the navigation background color to black. Okay. Click publish. Then let's do a refresh. And there you go. Okay. So feel free to go through all these changes. Okay. And if I want to revert back to what's there by default, I can just go back here, select default. Okay. Select default and select default. Then click publish. Go to the front end of the website, refresh. The default colors are up. Okay. Okay. So gone through the colors. Let's hold off on the layouts, the different layout options that you have. Let's change the widgets. Okay. So you notice that we already have some widgets showing up in the right sidebar here. Okay, let's remove those. And then we're going to be adding a couple of the to check in widgets that are made available with a theme. So there's an about us widget and then there's a social widget. So let's add those. Okay, so first remove these. So remove, 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 and remove. Okay, and then click publish. Okay, let's head over to the front end of the website, then do a refresh. You'll notice the sidebar is no longer there, and that's because we no longer have any widgets added there. Let's add a couple of those widgets. So come here, and then just look for to check it about us and to check it social. Let's add to check it about us first. Give it a title about us. And I'm going to add in some dummy content. I'm going to hold off uploading an image because there's a slight quirk for the widget when it's when you try and upload an image in the customizer. So I'm just going to show you just the text for now. So click publish. Now do refresh on the front end and you see it shows up there. Okay. Now there's an issue in uploading an image using the customizer because of the limited space we have here in the widget area. So, but there's a workaround. There's another way you can upload and change your widgets. And so just exit out of the customizer window here. And then you see, just go under appearance and then widgets. And it will show the list of available widgets to your left here. And then all the widgets that are set up with your theme, you get to check your theme here. So we just have a right sidebar, and here's the to check your about us widget that we have just added. And you notice it has the text that we entered. We entered about us and the dummy text here. Okay. So let's upload an image. Okay. So to upload an image, just click on the upload image button. Click on browse, and I'm going to upload an image here that I'd already created. Click upload. Okay. Now, to make sure that the URL for your image shows up in the widget, what you're going to do is go down to the link URL section and then click file URL, the file URL button. So click on that. Make sure the URL shows up here. Okay. Okay. And then the next thing you have to do is make sure you click on the insert into post. And it shows up there. Now you need to click save, but you notice save is disabled for some reason. I'm not sure why. I believe it's a quirk with WordPress, but there's a quick workaround you can do. Just click and type in there. Notice it is enabled. I'm going to remove that extra space I just added, and then click save. Okay. And if you go to the front end of the website, let's see if our image shows up. There it is. Okay. All right, let's continue adding our widgets through the customizer window. So let's go back to customize. And then let's add the social. So to check a social is here. Okay. And this is where you can add in links to your social media platforms. So for the title, let's enter, let's see, followers. Okay. And then for the link, I'm just going to enter, let's say Google. And you notice in the preview window, the links already showed up. So the Patreon link shows up there. Webtoon link shows up there. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, LinkedIn, Tumblr, YouTube, and Twitch. Now, you may also want to make the RSS feed for your comics available to your readers. So to do that, you basically have to enter your domain name.com/comic/feed. So in my case, it's going to be https tutorial.com webcomic/comic/feed. Then click done, and then click publish. Then if you come here and do a refresh, notice the social widget shows up with all the links that we've added. Okay. So next up, let's change our footer. But before we do that, let me change the background color for the footer so you can get to see. You notice the text is not clear. You cannot see it clearly. So let me just change the color for now. Let's change the background color to black. Okay, so you can get to see the changes that I'm making. Okay, so publish. So this is the default text that shows up in the footer section. We'll go and do a refresh. Okay. There's the default text. Okay. So let's go back and change. I exited out of the customizer. Let me go back to the customizer. Okay. So the footer. Come here. It's empty right now. So let's enter this. Let's see. It's changing. Yep, it's changing there. So this is the footer of my website. Published. And if I refresh my website, the new footer is showing there. Okay. So now we can start tackling the layout. Now, for the layouts, let's tackle first the comic page layout. So if I go to one of these comics, so let's go to millennials. Okay. Sorry, let's go back home here. Let's do it from the front end of the website. So go back here, click on millennials. So by default, it will show this vertical scroll webtoon layout, which is basically one comic panel per row. Now this is assuming you have sliced up your comic by the panels. Okay, so each of this is a separate image. Okay, so you can change your comic page layout here, and you have 4 options. So by default, you have this one comic per row option. Okay, now you can change them only for desktop devices. So for mobile devices, phones and tablets, it will always show this option, one comic panel per row. So you cannot change that for mobile devices. But for desktops, you can change it to, let's say, 2 panels per row. So click publish. And if I do a refresh, you'll notice there are 2 panels per row. So if I go to the previous comic, it's loaded up here, you'll notice 2 panels per row. Okay. If I go to the next one, it's 2 panels at the most per row. So okay. Let's do a few more. Okay, so 3 panels per row. Publish. Do a refresh. Okay, it shows 3 panels per row. If I navigate through this, notice it shows 3 panels per row. And for that one, 3 panels. Okay. Let's say 4 panels per row. You have 4 panels. Okay. Then publish. Hit refresh. Okay, this one has only 3 panels, so it's not going to show any more than that. So let's see this one. It has 4 panels. Okay, that one, you notice the 4 panels. So that's pretty straightforward. Okay. Okay. Next up, the home page layout. Okay. So this basically changes the way the layout looks like mainly on the front end of their website, on the home page, and even the comic page. It also changes the comic page and also any other pages that you may add to your website. Okay. So let's change that and see what options you have available. So you have 4 options available. You have the default Webtoon layout. And the Webtoon layout basically is what we have now, which is basically a navigation bar at the top, a hero section or header section here, a sidebar to your right, content area, and then the content area usually has the latest comics, your latest chapters if you have them, and latest blog posts if you have them, and then a footer section right at the bottom of the page. Let's change that to the traditional layout. So there's the Webtoon layout, the traditional layout. Then there's there's the minimalist layout, and then there is the collections layout. So let's change it to the traditional layout, and then see what it looks like. So click Publish, go to the front end, do a refresh. Okay, and basically the front end, the traditional layout is essentially you have the navigation bar at the top, the comic, your latest comic shows up in the home page with the navigation, the comic navigation there. Then your blog posts show up there. Then your right sidebar shows up there, and then the footer shows up below the page. Okay, and if we try going through your comics, shows up. So okay, let's go back home. Click on About Us. Notice it shows up without, no longer shows up with the hero image that we had in the Webtoon layout. Okay. Okay. Let's try a few more options. Let's try the minimalist option. Publish. If you go to the front end and do a refresh, and basically what it does is just shows you the comic and nothing else. So no sidebar, no blog post, just the comic and the footer at the bottom of the page and the navigation bar at the top. Okay. Then let's try the collections. Now I'm going to be covering collections in a future tutorial. So collections are if you have maybe if you have several webcomic series, maybe you write different story arcs. You have a couple comic strips with different characters, different storylines. Then this is the theme that is ideal for you, and you can segment your website into comic book collections. Okay. So let's see how that looks like. I've already uploaded some, so just let's click on that. And then notice it shows up in the preview window. Let's do a publish. Then if you go to the front end of the website and then do a refresh, and you notice you have the navigation bar at the top, your comic book collections, and you can swipe through them. So if you have more than one, swipe through them. Okay. And it's responsive, so it can show you how it looks like. So this is how it would look like in a mobile device. which reminds me of something that I can show you in just a bit. But hold on that. So has the collections there, and then the latest blog post here, and then the sidebar. And if you click on one of the comic book collections, it takes you to the latest comic for that collection. Okay. If I go back home, you can see that. Okay. Now, remember I told you, okay, so we're done with the home page layout. So let's move back to the default. Okay, and then click publish. Remember I told you that for the comic page layout, these only apply to desktop devices. Okay, so let's do a refresh here. So if I go to the comic, so you notice right now it's the 4-panel layout. Okay. Now, if I want to view this, let's see what it looks like on a mobile device, just to make sure you get an idea of what it would look like for a mobile device. It will show you how responsive the to check a theme is. So if I do web developer, then click read responsive design mode, this is what it will look like for any visitor to your website using any visitor to your website using mobile device. So if I click through the icon here, this is what it looks like. Okay. Okay. So if I exit the response design mode, go back to, sorry, let me just exit from here. It shows up with the 4-panel layout. Okay. So that should give you an idea of how responsive and mobile friendly to check it is in terms of the comic layout options that you have available for customizing. Okay. Okay. I think I've covered just about everything when it comes to customizing the theme. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And if you have more ideas for tutorials, do let me know. I'd be happy to work on those. And as always, happy tuning.